Hey everybody, what's up? My name's Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice, where we love to play games and talk about them.
Yeah, and today we're going to be talking about this little two-player game, Gatsby. It's designed by Bruno Cathala and Ludovic Maublanc, and published by Pandasaurus Games.
Yeah, so we are swinging it back into the 1920s with this two-player game. So if that sounds like something you might want to play, then just keep watching.
You know, when you started talking about the Roaring '20s, it made me think of how everybody thought that the '20s were going to be like fantastic, and then the pandemic started.
Oh, this 20s.
We're like, Roaring '20s are back.
Yeah,
just kidding.
Everyone had that 1920s, that 2020s themed party, and then everyone gave everyone COVID. Anyways, that is not this game 100 years earlier.
No, this is about Dorothy and James. They are two sort of like up-and-coming persons in the Gatsby universe who are going about a cabaret where they're trying to socialize with as many people as possible. They're rising up in the business world, and they are going to the racetracks to bet on horses and be posh and do what people of Gatsby's eras do to move up in the universe. It is a action selection game where we have a list of actions that we can take on the board, and the unique thing is that we share a mover pawn. So if you've played games like Disney Villainous or like Scythe, and you have like a piece that you move back and forth between actions, it's like that, but we share a piece, which means I can't take the action that Mackenzie just took.
So in classic Bruno Cathala fashion, there are lots of things happening that you have to keep track of.
Multiple victory conditions.
Multiple victory conditions, and in this case there are 3 different tracks that you can choose from on how you're going to play out your turn. First we have the dance floor, where your goal of this track is to get either all in a row or to get them all onto the little gear spaces, and then you can achieve one of these tokens. Over here we have the finance track, which is going to be where you're just trying to move up the ladder basically and reach the top, and you'll gain things along the way. And then the last one, we have the racetrack. Person with the most tokens in that racetrack, once they finish that racetrack, they are going to be able to pick up that token.
Yeah, it's like a little area control thing. And what you're gaining these little like citizens. So there are citizens in 5 different suits. So there are different colored suits. Then there are also 3 of every citizen color. Now, they may not all be in the game because there's going to be some of them that are face down. But you will win the game either by getting one of each suit, by getting all 3 of the same suit, or the game ending and you having the most stars. So if none of those conditions have been met, if you have the most stars, that's how you're going to win the game. So there's like a little funky dude who, he looks so happy, but he has 0 stars. So that's generally what you're trying to do. There's some other kind of neat switcheroo things. So you can force the other player to take an action of your choice. You can swap tiles. Some of those citizens are going to be face down, so you're going to be able to look at those and decide if you're going to swap them with others at different locations. And then you're also going to get these action tiles, which you get to put on a personal action space that only you can take. So I'm the only person who can take that action, and it's a one-time use.
Yes.
First, what it's got going for it. The action system is excellent. This idea of going back and forth, I can only pick actions that are not the action that Mackenzie just took. If I take my strong personal action, she now has free reign to pick any space she wants, because they're all open. The fact that there's things like being able to swap tokens or peek at tokens or have the other player pick something else, and then also some cascading actions where I do an action that lets me do another action. There's a lot of interesting stuff that's going on there.
There is a lot to think about.
And we should take a moment to talk about the components, because the components are also a standout part of this game. Like the art and graphic design, I think, is really strong. I think it looks really beautiful. The color scheme they use is really beautiful. They have a foil print on the board that's so shiny, and all the pieces are screen printed wood, which is like really nice looking. But yeah, let's talk about the puzzles themselves, because I think those didn't quite excite us as much as we hoped that they would.
So I explained a little bit how the puzzles function. And while there are ways that as you place your token on the track, you can do different things in the puzzles, overall, the puzzles are fairly similar, I would say, that you are trying to basically get to the end of the line first, or you're trying to fill up that line first and have the majority. All 3 of them have like a samey feel, I would say.
Yeah, like it's more so like there's no there's no real twist, I guess. Like, so you're trying to get all in a row, and you can swap things, and they can swap things, and you can swap between tracks, which is kind of cool. So I could move people over to the racetrack over to here. But like when you complete it, it's sort of like, because it's 6 in a row, you sort of see it coming. It's like, okay, I've got 4 in a row, 5 in a row, surprise, 6 in a row, and you can do a little bit to stop that, but like ultimately it's kind of like a slow burn. It doesn't feel like, take for instance like Corto, or like a game where there's an abstract, I got to get 4 in a row, or I got to box in your piece in a square. There's no like surprise to it where it's like, whoa, all of a sudden out of nowhere you like totally got all of those from me. That's is true for the gear one, where you have to land on 4 specific spaces, but I felt like there could have been more excitement to it. I also felt the same about the finance track. You're sort of always just progressing upwards. It'd be interesting if like you could decrease on the finance track to increase somewhere else, like you're spending your favor, or you could decrease the other player and maybe it could reactivate bonuses on the track.
I also feel with the finance track, the catch-up mechanic is too strong.
It's
It's like
strong.
if you are behind, you get to move up 2 spaces, and instead of compared to the other puzzles, that one just seems like a slightly too strong of a.
Well, it's more so I thought that was a little bit okay, because like what I thought was kind of fun about it was it's kind of like a ladder. Like you want to like get 1 space under, then 2 spaces up, 1 space under, 2 spaces up, and so that. But it felt like manufactured fun in that regard, where it's like you're forcing us to stay close because there's no reason for me to get far ahead on that track. Which that feels a little counterintuitive. And the similar goes for the racetrack, where it's like if I already have 4 out of 5 on a racetrack, I'm like really not incentivized to keep placing them, because I'm just wasting my actions at that when I know there's no way you're going to catch up and beat me on that track. And so I felt like you would just have to leave it and forget about it. And I wish there were more exciting consequences, like if there was hidden information that played in and you're trying to trick people to go down the wrong tracks or things like that, which there a little bit is with the characters, but I don't feel that the stakes are high enough with the ability to swap characters around.
And I would say you have to. I wouldn't recommend this game to people where you're going to be playing with someone that's like fairly new to games, and then you're like more experienced, because I think that it won't be a fair fight in the sense that like I think they're really going to run away with it. You have to really plan ahead those turns.
Oh
like,
yeah, it is the
before.
kind of game where like you could do one thing on your turn, and then I do 4 things that are chained together, and then you do one thing, and then I do 3 things that are chained together. It's really easy to chain stuff.
But for 2 people,
Yeah.
for 2 people that really enjoy chess, or the concept of just planning your turns way out in advance and enjoy that play, then I think you would enjoy Gatsby. I would say our overall review of Gatsby is that it is a beautiful production. The quality and the overall packaging is absolutely gorgeous. The mechanics with the turn order are lovely, and I found that very fresh and new. With how you are changing out who's going to go next, and I like the concept of you getting to tell you when to go. But I would say it's the puzzles. I would like a little more variety. I think also because of that designer, Bruno Catala, he's just known for the diverse puzzles, and I feel like I would have liked to see a little more in this one.
Yeah, I think that's right. So ultimately, I think we got a lot of solid good plays out of it. I think we played this 5 or 6 different times, and really enjoyed those plays. But we don't see ourselves enjoying plays 7, 8, 9 as much. And so I think for us, I think we're probably done with Gatsby. But especially if you love the theme and maybe are still kind of working on how to do that chaining strategy stuff, this could be really interesting for you and really exciting. I think just like it got a little bit too simple, I would say.
All right. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much to Pandasaurus for providing us with a review copy. No monetary values were exchanged, but we do appreciate the game so that we can be able to play it and tell all of you what we think about it and if it's the right thing for you, your friends, and your family. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know whenever we put out a new video. And we'll see you next time.
Happy playing!